iterations did I realize how often I say hit snooze. It's practically my morning mantra. But it's funny how these little phrases actually make English feel alive, not just like a textbook.
Here's the takeaway. Using phrases like throw on clothes or collapse on the couch isn't about perfect grammar. It's about sounding real. And honestly, it's how people actually talk when they're in a rush or just tired.
Can you imagine a dream morning where your socks always match? That's my goal. But even if I end up with one polka dot and one stripe, at least I can laugh and say, well, I threw on clothes.
There's research showing that repeating and reacting out loud, like actually saying these phrases, helps you remember them better. Plus, sharing them with friends makes it stick even more.
If you're worried about making mistakes, remember, nobody's counting your errors when you're telling a funny story about burnt toast. Humor helps you remember, and it makes the language yours.
I partly agree, but sometimes I wish I could have Leo's dream, birdsong and breakfast delivered by a silent butler. Instead, I get a cat on my face and cold cereal. Still, it's real life and real English.
So, try using these gold phrases in your own mornings. Even if you mix them up or laugh at yourself, that's the point. Language is for living, not just studying.
Let's wrap up with this. English, like life, is better when you can laugh at burnt toast and missing socks. Practice, play, and don't wait for perfection. Just enjoy the real, messy moments. Last week, we got stuck on the idea that adults actually have morning routines, like real ones, not just a mad dash for keys and caffeine. Here's the takeaway. Most of us are improvising, not following some color-coded Pinterest chart.
If you ever want to test your reflexes, try dodging a Lego at 6 a.m. while balancing a toddler on your hip. My so-called routine is basically a series of mini crises. Alarms ignored, coffee poured into the wrong cup, and a desperate search for shoes that match at least in size, if not in color.
Wait, do people actually find matching socks? Because in my house, it's like the Bermuda Triangle for laundry. I swear, my dog has a secret stash somewhere. And don't get me started on the snooze button. My record is 7 times in a row.
Here's a stat for you. A recent survey found that 62% of adults admit to starting their day with some kind of wardrobe malfunction, inside-out shirts, mismatched socks, or, in my case, burnt toast because I got distracted by a meme.
That's so real. And social media just makes it worse. You scroll through those perfect morning posts, sunrise, yoga, flawless smoothie bowls, and meanwhile, I'm stepping on action figures and negotiating with a 3-year-old about why pants are necessary.
But isn't there something kind of comforting about the chaos? Like, if everyone's mornings are a mess, maybe that's the real routine. Plus, it gives us the best stories. I wore 2 different shoes to work is basically a Monday tradition.
Here's the practical bit. If you're learning English, there's an idiom for this: flying by the seat of your pants. It means improvising as you go, which pretty much sums up every adult morning I've ever had. Last week we got stuck on dinner roulette. My fridge had only a shriveled carrot, half a lemon, and something that might have been cheese. That's when I realized my evening routine is basically survival mode with a side of improvisation.
That's relatable. I checked on average, I use the phrase just 5 more minutes at least 6 times between 7 and 10 p.m. It's like my brain refuses to accept that the day isn't over until I've watched at least 3 dog videos and watered Survivor, my houseplant, who's somehow still alive.
I love that. My version is bubble bath slip and slides with my little brother. which sounds relaxing but usually ends with a flooded bathroom and me reading bedtime stories half asleep. Does anyone else forget which story they're telling halfway through?
Absolutely. I once started with Goldilocks and ended up in The Three Little Pigs. But here's the takeaway. Those chaotic evenings are weirdly comforting. There's a rhythm to the mess, even if it means eating cereal for dinner.
Can we actually call it self-care if it's just collapsing on the couch with takeout? I mean, the data says people who have a set wind-down ritual sleep better, but my ritual is basically scrolling memes until my phone hits me in the face.
If it makes you happy, it counts. My favorite lazy day ritual is mismatched socks and hot chocolate, even if I can never find a matching pair. It's the little things that help me switch off.
Here's a question. What's the one thing you always forget at night? For me, it's brushing my teeth. I swear, I remember only when I'm already in bed and too tired to move.
For me, it's setting the alarm. There's a 50-50 chance I'll wake up in a panic, convinced I missed something important. Maybe true relaxation is just accepting the chaos and laughing at it.